Go into my first game with sweat on my neck. My opponent scores from a corner. What the heck? Bring on the super subs in the 70th minute. Grab a hat trick between them. What a way to win it. What an intense game. Think I'm done playing for the day. Only joking. Got 39 more matches to play. That is from Adam S. He said, thanks. Each game to me felt like a Cup or Division final and was so sweaty. Managed to finish 26-5 overall, so I'm happy. Would recommend the counterattacking style of FIFA this year. I asked you guys for some odes to the weekend league, and that was one of them. I have a few more that I will read throughout this episode of Path to Power. But what is going on, everybody? My name is Japes. Welcome back to the Tiltacular weekend, first weekend of Ultimate Team. As I mentioned the previous one, I picked up a lot of squad fitnesses for very, very cheap or cheap-ish so that I could roll with what I thought was my strong Bundesliga team. And as we go over this gameplay, this footage, you will get to hear me rewatch and in awe and wonder and amazement at and try to figure out really what was going on in my head. Because I am not sure. We talked about FIFA psychology last time. I have issues. Apparently. So we're going to see how it goes. I've switched to a 3-4-2-1. Why? Because I had one very successful draft run with it, and I felt like I needed to score goals. Now, if you remember from the last episode, I felt like I needed to score goals after I scored 3 in one game, which I think is actually pretty darn good. And as I thought, this was still on Friday night, and Billy F sums it up in his little ode to the weekend league. He says, "Oh, EA, what have you done? I will not stop playing until I have won. From dawn till dusk, in our ultimate teams we place our trust, and to stay inside all weekend now seems a must." And that was kind of the realization that I came to at this point as well. And that's when I was like, oh, whatever. We're going for it. I'm going ham. We're going to go full YOLO and just try to score as many goals as I can in as many games as my FIFA psyche will allow me to play. And we'll see where that leaves us. It sounds like a lot of you had a very similar experience. For a little bit of foreshadowing, I do not play all 40 games. There was just no way. Like, the way the weekend constraints work, it's just not a possibility. It is a possibility for me to sit down and do that, but I just don't. Frankly, I just don't want to. It's not that I don't like FIFA this year, because I do really, really like it. It's more that I like spending time with my wife or doing other things on the weekends a lot as well, and there's a limited time to do that on the weekends, so I tend to prioritize that, and that is where we are. I want to apologize for not getting an upload up yesterday as well. This could have been and should have been probably yesterday's upload, but I went back and ended up putting it off. I've been having some internet connectivity issues, so we've got Comcast coming out today, fingers crossed that they will fix it, but that's not the issue. The internet crashed, and then I started playing the Journey, and the next thing I knew, it was already like 6 p.m. US time where I am, which is midnight in the UK, and I was like, okay, maybe I'll just wait till tomorrow. And that's what we did, and we've got Aubameyang breaking free on goal, and that is almost a good finish, but it's not. I've seen a lot of people that tweeted me and said, Japes, have you tried out Pierre-Emerick? And the answer now is yes. They said he's insane. I said, well, I say after using him, he's above average. Not my favorite striker that I've used. Not quite insane, but very, very good. And in fact, he might be better if I would apply a certain chemistry style to him. I really, really like Sniper this year for strikers. They're like extra little bit of pace that everything else would give. I just don't care about. I'd rather have them a bit better with the ball. Don't mind if I do take that smart pass, sweat it across. Also, the Sniper Chem doesn't give an improvement in long shots. It's really just like finishing and up-close stuff, as well as dribbling, ball control, things that I think are very important this year so that your players Ronaldo included, don't turn like elephants, which is something that I stole from someone on Twitter. I can't even lie about it. He said, Ronaldo turns like an elephant for me. And I was like, dude, that is absolutely almost 90% true, which is pretty high on the FIFA True meter because, as you guys like to know, and nobody likes to take the blame for things that happen, Douglas Costa bagging himself a hat trick in this one. Using him as a left forward, of course, in our 3-4-2-1. Should it be our preferred formation? I don't know, but we're scoring goals and I'm not conceding. Gonna make it 4 here with a layoff across, and it eventually falls to Marco Reus. I am feeling sweaty, boys. And that's okay. It is the weekend league, and as far as I know, anything goes in the weekend league, and I'm still trying to figure out which formation makes me happy on FIFA. Which is really quite a bit more on that FIFA psychology. So FIFA, like if you are just absolutely raging all the time on FIFA, you are going to do what I do. Well, not what I do. I was going to say what I've done in past years, and really when I let the game get to me, and it just burns me out. So I am at kind of a point this year where, welcome to the chip life, Pierre-Emerick Aubameyang. I'm at a point this year where I do not want to burn out because I'm really enjoying making Path to Power. Like a lot. The podcast style is fantastic for me. I think you guys enjoy it as well. Also, quick shout out to those of you guys that have sent me the encouraging notes, the encouraging comments, the tweets, even some of the Reddit messages or whatever that I've gotten. I appreciate it all. So I want to say thank you to you guys. You rock. This guy, he gets the golf clap. I didn't mention it in game. His team name, Crouch FC. He ran a 4-4-2 with Bonnie and who was Benteke. He brought on Slimani, and he ran up the line the entire time and just tried to cross it in. You have to applaud sticking to the plan and the club name. Well, I don't applaud that in the sense that it is going to be beneficial and help him win. Sometimes, if it makes him happy, you just have to roll with it. And that's what I'm trying to do, and trying to figure out that formation. I think I may have found it, but we'll revisit that later on in the week. Well, I say I found it for now. That'll undoubtedly change as EA patches the game, but that is where we are now. So after winning that game, what is Japes doing here? Why are we in the instructions? We just won 5-0, was it? And I've decided to change things up. Why? Because I am still feeling tilted from the happenings in the previous episode. I cannot say anything more than I was just absolutely tiltacular. So we come up against Hrvatska, which is, I'm assuming, a Croatian expression, judging by the squad that this guy used. This game put me over the edge. You're going to see his team, though, and it is a really, really nice team. This is when I realized that Luka Modric can win a game and a midfield all by himself. He is quite probably the best center mid in FIFA this year on Ultimate Team. Arturo Vidal, probably a close second. We give up a corner, and like many of you guys, I feel very, very helpless on corners. I feel like it is all lucky whether or not they go in for me and against me. It's just a roll of the dice, and I do not like that because when I get scored on, it's like, what can I do? And it changes my total mentality. Rushing things forward here, why am I doing that? Not the thing to do against a 4-3-3 counterattacking style, and I tried to block off that pass to Modric. We were unable to do so. I thought I had run my player over there to cover it quite well, but I got an animation where he trips over Modric, and what do? When you give up a 25-yard strike to the best midfielder in FIFA 17 Ultimate Team. 2-0 down, 21st minute. What's frustrating about this is I was still getting chances throughout this whole thing. These were 2 attacks, these were 2 goals right away, and that's when you're just at a deep hole. 42nd minute now, still before the half. Thought I had run over nicely to try to block off the pass. I did block that shot. That was not a great shot, but it was a great rebound, just not for us. So we're down 3-0 in the 43rd minute, and I am full-blown Tiltarino, Tiltaronis, Tiltosaurus Rex, whatever. It's the Tiltacular Extravaganza that was week 1 for the weekend league for me. You will get more of this in the coming days. And albeit while I'm happy and jovial talking about it right now, I was impeccably and incredibly frustrated. Luckily, I would get a little bit of luck right here, win that one back. Goretzka, who I'm really a fan of for budget teams, fitness squads, I think he's a great all-around CM. Douglas Costa plays a fantastic back heel to big Lars Bender with an absolute thunderbolt right into the back of the net, managing to bring us 1 goal closer after the half. Now, the second part of the tilt here is most definitely coming up. You can see that is not a great pass from him. Deflects, and we start a counterattack. Why am I counterattacking so quickly? Because I am down goals, and I feel like I need to rush forward. And rather than creating quality chances, I just am trying to create a high quantity of chances. That was a great pass. It eventually falls to, who else? Lars Bender, who can't finesse it away, but Arjen Robben is there for the rebound, making it 2-3. Now, this is the part that is incredibly frustrating because I should have shown some of them in this game, but I cranked the post twice and I missed a one-on-one. Now, those are probably on me for powering it up or not aiming correctly, so I only have myself to blame, but still incredibly frustrating nonetheless. And there's nothing, so this is a slight pet peeve of mine. It is something that drives me nuts, but when I come out of not playing a good game and I have to do squad maintenance, and for years when I talk about squad maintenance, it is adding contracts, fitness, you name it, it drives me like absolutely nuts because I want to go right back into the game, wash that game away, swish my mouth out, get rid of the nasty taste and move forward. So what do we do when we lose 3-2 and still create plenty of chances and just really get scored on by 2 goals that were kind of questionable with the rebound and the corner? And I suppose the third could be seen in there with like a long shot. It's not like my defense was just broken wide open. We changed things. Why do we change things? Because we are tilted. And if you guys have any experiences like this, you should just send me the odes to the weekend league. I absolutely love them. Jan F, I believe he is from Germany. He said his ode was called Trying Hard. And Jan, I am right there with you. I passed, ran fast. I shot, went for the jackpot. Tried to be less shit this year and sat down with a beer. Had my hopes high. I did not qualify, which I thought was actually quite funny because I got quite a few tweets when the weekend league was starting, and that were like, I didn't even qualify. What the heck? So you can see I'm changing more things up in game. 16 minutes in. Why? Because apparently 16 minutes is an adequate time sample in a match to determine that something is not working for you. So we're changing to a 3-5-2. See, I can rhyme as well, even if unintentionally. You and two. You see what I did there. So we're working it forward here, and I can now start ping-pong passing a little bit more with the front three, which is nice. Play a nice ball out wide to Herman the German, an absolute thunderbolt into the far corner, making it 1-0. Why did I take it on? I don't know, but you can see the frustrations from the previous match. Because I dead fish. This is a celebration you get from me when it's like a weight off my shoulders and I'm like, yeah, deal with it. Booyakasha. Which is not something I've said in years and I'm not quite sure where it came from. I don't know what's going on here with my defending, but it's not good. I don't know what's going on here with my decision making, but it's also not good. Luckily, he rushes it, was a little flustered, or I don't know if it's being flustered or what it is, but it was enough to put him off, which is exactly what I was hoping would happen. So we get a chance to work a nice counterattack. I really, really like Douglas Costa as a pure left mid. So any formation with a pure left mid, not so much a left wing. I think he's fine as a left wing if that's your jam. But as a left mid, I think he actually gets back really, really nicely and is pretty solid defensively. I want to say he's got medium-low work rates, so maybe ignore the work rates. But I think defensively, he seems fine. He's pretty strong on the ball, and he runs 4 days. Like 4 days. That's a great pass. Finds Pierre-Emerick. I refuse to call him Aubameyang. I don't know why, but you can see the frustration still with the dead fish. I guess I do call him Aubameyang sometimes, but maybe it's a Bayern thing that I want to call him Pierre-Emerick. Maybe it's because my actual name, well, I might say my actual name is JP. It stands for John Paul. So maybe it's a double name thing, and it's the, I don't know, ode to the double names. That's just not true. Just ignore me. I give up one in the 90th minute against the greatest, but managed to come away with a win, which is great. And what do you do when you win a game on Ultimate Team? When it comes to the weekend league and you have 12 total shots, 6 on target, we have bronze 1, which is great. That means we get some rewards. As long as you get to the first tier and whatever reward system it is, I think you're in good shape, and that is just fine. But we decide to switch things up. And we're going to switch to not the 3-5-2 that we just played in that match. We're going to go back to the 4-3-3. Maybe this was because I felt like the guy that I played with, Mandzukic and Perisic and Modric and Rakitic, the Croatian contingent in his team, was really pretty good. And I was like, yeah, I want to play a similar style because why? The 4-3-3 makes me happy. I like the idea of a 4-3-3 in FIFA and in real football. So why not try to force it even when other things are working for me? And the weekend league is really all about playing with what is working for you. And I'm just going through and randomly putting on instructions because I am not confident in my formation or instruction set this year at this point, so I am just randomly changing things up. Like, we're going to take the speed down because we want to play more like Barcelona again. And 50% speed is just, it is what it is, and we're going to make our team a little bit more narrow, even though 60 is still pretty darn wide, and that's probably why I get beaten through the middle sometimes, so we need to pinch that up. That's something that I've since learned I do a little bit better with a more narrow defensive setup. I hope you guys are enjoying this, and I hope you can hear some of like what would be essentially me mocking myself. And while I give out tons of advice in Path to Power and thoughts on the game in general, I by no means think I am the greatest player, nor do I think that I am an all-knowing god when it comes to FIFA. I do, however, play this game a lot, and I have played it for many years, generally with a solid degree of success. So I still like to think that I know what I'm talking about. Speaking of the 3-5-2 that we switched to last time, we're coming up against a BPL 3-5-2 team. Interesting, using Bellerin as a right mid. That makes me think that maybe he's slightly tilted as well. Because when you end up with players out of position like that in the weekend league, there's a chance that you just made a knee-jerk reaction and switched because of that. That's a great ball. Finds Vidal, who is up past Aubameyang, doing Vidal things. And why is Pierre-Emerick that deep? I can't remember the instructions that I put on him, but he was wide open right there, and that's a great finish. Top net, the best net with his weaker left foot. He is still above average for the coins. I think he goes for I don't know, 250, 300K. I think Griezmann also goes for somewhere in that price range. I would rather have Griezmann. I think Emerick and Pierre-Emerick and Dybala are maybe more on the same level for me. But I think that is a kind of a fair crossover. And if you guys do enjoy me kind of comparing players, whether it be from different leagues, I know there are ratings. I know there are ratings on players in games, but for I have tier lists in my head when it comes to different leagues of how players have performed for me in drafts or whatever. And so a lot of times I'll take a lower rated player from one league and compare him to a higher rated player in a different league. That's just the way that it works out. So I managed to, I believe we grabbed the win there. I'm sorry, I got distracted and looked away. But before we go, also, I absolutely love getting the poems from you guys, or just little messages in general. I'm going to do a big Q&A app coming up here, so if there are specific questions that you guys want answered, I will get them and kind of, I don't know, try to format them in some sort of almost like Excel spreadsheet or something so that I can filter through and get the most asked questions up for sure, rather than, just going through a few like unique ones like, hey, Japes, who is a better left back? I don't know. Alex Sandro or Felipe Luis? I don't know. I haven't used any of them extensively. So that's just an example. My email, of course, is airjapesfifa@gmail.com. Feel free to send that through. And I will go through and try to get those prepped and ready to go. We're going against Gunnar Werk and put in Werk against Die Mannschaft. He is rolling with almost Bundesliga side, but he's got Mustafi in there. He's got a little Arsenal contingent. He's got Thiago as well, so not quite Die Mannschaft. And in the 46th minute, really just after half, that is pretty unfortunate that it goes out of bounds. He brought on Ricardo Kishna, which I thought was pretty suspect. It's just an interesting substitution, and Pierre-Emerick manages to squeak free. I don't know why he's using his left foot right there, but thank goodness it went in. It made me happy. And that gives us a 1-goal lead in the 48th minute, which is something I really, really needed. And I'm feeling maybe the 4-3-3, like maybe I just should have stuck with the false 9 and fought through it, because if there's an ongoing theme so far, it's that I make knee-jerk reactions and changes when it comes to the weekend league, because I am just not that confident. I haven't played lots of seasons. Like, most of my time this year has been put in like the draft and squad building challenges. I've played some tournaments on this account as well, but those were mainly when people were just getting used to the game, and you don't know, maybe I just got matched up against some not so great players. And that's not how you get better and not how you learn. So definitely something to take into consideration as we move forward. Unfortunately, Pierre-Emerick is out of contracts, which means he is no longer a part of our plans, which means we have to go out and get a new striker from the Bundesliga. I decided I would give Thomas Muller a shot. Why? Because I had the coins, and who doesn't love a bit of Muller time? I've also heard a few people say that he's actually really, really good this year. Like, ignore the stats. His positioning rating, which I think is very important for strikers this year, is great. Another reason why I put Griezmann above Aubameyang. I think Griezmann has the second highest positioning rating, or I don't know. It's very high one way or another. Anyways, guys, this is where we're going to come to a close today. So I want to say thank you, as always, for tuning in, for all the wonderful words and kind words and support. Wonderful words, kind words. You get what I'm going for. But drop a like on the video if you did enjoy it and watched it all the way through. It does let me know that you're enjoying what's going on. So thank you all for watching. My name is Japes, and I will catch you all next time.
I hear thunder, I hear lightning, I hear wonders, and everybody wanna go, but no one really cares to know. I see marvels, I see titans, and some troubles that everybody